The private jet terminal stood quiet and bright with wide glass walls and smooth floors that reflected every step. People moved with calm faces holding bags that looked new and heavy with purpose. Soft voices floated through the air mixed with distant engine sounds from the runway. In this place most people felt important and unseen at the same time. Near the entrance 2 young twin girls stood close together holding hands tightly. Their eyes searched the room with fear and hope mixed together. They looked small against the tall doors and polished space. Something inside them felt wrong and they could not explain it. Across the hall, a poor boy stood alone near a metal barrier by the window. His jacket was thin and his shoes were worn from long days of walking. He kept his head down as if the floor mattered more than the people around him. This was not a place meant for someone like him and he knew it well. He had come only to see something once and then leave quietly. Every sound made him tense as memories pressed against his chest. He felt eyes on him and tried to ignore them. Leaving early felt safer than staying too long. Suddenly the twins saw him and everything changed inside their hearts. Their hands squeezed tighter as a truth rose faster than fear. They stepped forward together and their voices broke the silence. They cried out that he was their brother with pain and certainty. People turned heads surprised by the sound and the words. The girls shook as tears filled their eyes but they did not stop. They pointed at the boy as if afraid he would vanish. The air felt heavy as whispers spread through the hall. The boy lifted his head slowly when he heard the voices. His breath caught as he saw the twins staring at him. For a moment time seemed to slow around them. He recognized their faces though years had passed between them. Memories of small rooms and shared meals rushed back. He felt warmth and fear collide inside his chest. Being seen again hurt more than being ignored. He took a step back not knowing what to do. People began to judge without knowing the story. Some looked at the boy with doubt and sharp eyes. Others stared at the twins as if they were mistaken. The space filled with quiet tension and confusion. The boy felt shame rise even though he had done nothing wrong. He believed leaving would protect everyone from trouble. With a heavy heart, he turned slightly toward the exit. He did not know that this moment would change everything. The tension in the terminal grew thicker as people slowly gathered closer. Security staff stepped forward with calm faces but careful eyes watching every movement. The twins refused to move away and their hands stayed locked together. Their voices trembled as they repeated the same truth again and again. They said the boy was their brother and that they knew him by heart. Their words were filled with memories, not confusion. The crowd struggled to understand what they were hearing. The air felt tight with disbelief and quiet judgment. The boy stood frozen as security asked gentle questions. He felt every stare press into his back like weight. He had never wanted attention and now it wrapped around him. His thoughts raced back to days when he learned to stay invisible. He kept his voice low and his eyes down trying to stay calm. Part of him hoped the twins would stop before things became harder. Another part of him felt something he had not felt in years. That feeling was being remembered. The twins tried to explain without shouting. They spoke about a time when they were smaller and poorer. They remembered sharing food and sleeping close on cold nights. They remembered the boy watching over them when others were tired. Each word they spoke felt real and steady. People nearby began to quiet down and listen. Their story did not sound made up or careless. It sounded lived in and deep. A guard asked the boy to step aside for a moment. He obeyed slowly, keeping his hands visible. He did not argue or raise his voice. Inside his chest his heart felt heavy but steady. He had learned long ago that calm was his shield. The twins watched him with fear as he moved away. They worried he might disappear again. They held onto each other tighter. As the boy stood near the window he looked outside. The large jet rested on the runway shining under the sky. He remembered dreaming of places like this but never belonging. He thought about how life had split their paths so quietly. He never blamed the twins for leaving. He believed they deserved safety and warmth. Seeing them again brought both joy and pain. He wondered if walking away was still the right choice. The twins spoke again, this time softer. They said they never forgot him even when life changed. They said they asked about him but answers were always unclear. Their voices carried guilt mixed with love. Some people in the crowd began to feel uneasy. Judgment started to soften into curiosity. The idea of mistake faded into something deeper. A truth waiting to be heard. The boy felt tears press behind his eyes but he held them back. He did not want pity or drama. He wanted the twins to feel safe and proud. He stepped forward again slowly when allowed. His presence felt quiet but strong. The twins looked at him with relief and hope. No words were spoken for a moment. Silence carried more meaning than sound. The terminal no longer felt cold and distant. It felt like a place where past and present met. People realized they were witnessing something real. The twins stood taller as if protected by truth. The boy stood beside them, not hiding anymore. Whatever happened next could not erase this moment. A broken story had found its voice. And everyone could feel it. The crowd remained still as the boy reached into his jacket with slow care. His movement drew attention and some people leaned forward with concern. The twins watched him closely, their breathing uneven but hopeful. He pulled out a small folded photo worn from time and handling. The picture held more weight than any words spoken so far. The boy held the photo in both hands as if it could break. His fingers shook slightly, showing the effort it took to stay calm. The twins stepped closer, drawn by memory they could not ignore. Their eyes widened as they recognized the image without doubt. A shared past opened between them like a door. The photo showed 3 children sitting close together on an old couch. Their faces were bright with simple joy and trust. The room behind them looked small and plain but warm. The twins remembered that couch and the sound of laughter. The boy remembered protecting moments like that. A hush fell across the terminal as the truth settled. People no longer whispered as curiosity turned into respect. The twins reached for the photo, touching it gently. Their hands brushed the boy's hands without fear. A connection long broken found its place again. The boy spoke softly, not seeking attention or approval. He explained that he kept the photo as proof of belonging. He said he came only to see them safe and smiling. He never planned to stop or cause a scene. His voice carried honesty shaped by hard years. The twins listened with tears flowing freely now. They remembered nights when he shared food and comfort. They remembered his quiet strength and steady presence. Guilt mixed with relief inside their hearts. They wished they had searched harder sooner. People around them began to feel the story deeply. No one laughed or doubted anymore. A man nearby lowered his gaze in thought. The guards relaxed their stance, sensing no danger. The terminal felt changed by the moment. The boy felt lighter after speaking his truth. He did not expect forgiveness or reunion. He only wanted the twins to know he cared. Standing there, he felt seen without judgment. That feeling was rare and powerful. The twins spoke together, their voices steady now. They said family does not fade with time or distance. They said they never stopped thinking of him. Their words reached across the years between them. Hope filled the space once cold. As the moment stretched forward, the future felt uncertain but real. The boy stood taller, no longer hiding himself. The twins stayed close, guarding what they found again. The crowd slowly dispersed, carrying the story with them. Something important had shifted for everyone present. The twins suddenly moved without asking anyone for permission. They stepped forward and wrapped their arms around the boy. Their small bodies trembled as if holding back years of silence. The boy froze at first, not sure if he was allowed this closeness. Slowly his shoulders relaxed and he let the moment happen. People around them watched with wide eyes and quiet hearts. No one spoke because nothing needed to be said. The space felt filled with something honest and rare. Security staff stood back, unsure of what to do next. They had seen many scenes in this place but never one like this. The twins held on as if afraid the boy would fade away. They spoke softly, telling him they were sorry for the lost years. Their voices carried regret mixed with relief and love. The boy listened without pulling away or looking down. He had waited long for understanding, not apology. Being heard felt like enough. A man who seemed important stepped closer from the crowd. His clothes were clean and his posture confident. Yet his face showed confusion, slowly turning into concern. He listened carefully to every word the twins shared. They spoke of separation and unanswered questions. They spoke of how the boy had protected them. The man felt the weight of the story settle inside him. His view of the situation began to change. The terminal no longer felt like a place of judgment. It felt like a quiet room holding a shared truth. People nearby lowered their voices out of respect. Some wiped their eyes, though they tried to hide it. The boy remained calm, letting others react as they wished. He did not need their approval to stand tall. The twins stayed close, giving him strength. Together they formed a picture no one could deny. The man made a quiet call, stepping slightly aside. His voice was firm but thoughtful. He asked questions, seeking clarity, not blame. The response on the other end seemed serious and attentive. When he returned, his expression had softened. He nodded gently toward the boy and twins. The tension in the room eased just a little. Something important had been acknowledged. The twins spoke again, this time louder and steadier. They said family was not decided by place or wealth. They said love did not disappear when paths changed. Their words reached everyone standing there. The boy felt pride rise inside him for the first time. He looked at the twins and smiled softly. That smile held years of patience and hope. It changed how people saw him. A guard quietly stepped back, signaling no threat remained. The crowd slowly began to shift and breathe again. Some people returned to their paths but carried the story with them. The boy felt a strange calm settle over him. He had spoken his truth and stood his ground. The twins squeezed his hands as if promising never to let go. The moment felt fragile yet strong, like the beginning of something new. As the jet outside remained still, the real journey had already moved forward. The boy stood no longer as a stranger in that place. The twins stood proud beside him without fear. The terminal felt warmer than before. Lives had crossed again in a way no plan could arrange. No one there would forget what they witnessed. A broken bond had found its voice, and it refused to be ignored. The terminal slowly returned to movement, but something inside it had changed. The twins stayed close to the boy as if space itself might pull them apart. They walked together through the wide hall, feeling every step deeply. People passed by, but their eyes now carried respect, not doubt. The boy felt a calm strength grow inside his chest. He had come expecting nothing and now carried something precious. The twins talked softly, sharing small memories from their lives. Each word stitched the past closer to the present. They sat together near the tall windows, watching light move across the floor. The twins spoke about school and travel and quiet nights. The boy listened carefully, not interrupting or comparing. He shared stories of work and long walks and simple hopes. No one tried to impress the other. They spoke honestly without hiding pain or joy. Time seemed to slow, giving them space to reconnect. For the first time in years they felt complete. A gentle decision formed without being spoken. The twins made it clear they would not leave without him. The boy tried to refuse, worried about causing trouble. But their eyes carried determination and trust. They said family moves forward together. That truth felt solid and warm. The boy finally nodded, accepting what was offered. His heart felt lighter than it ever had. As they stood again, the terminal felt different to the boy. It no longer felt like a place he did not belong. The twins held his hands, guiding him forward. People stepped aside with quiet understanding. No one questioned their bond anymore. The story had already been told without words. The boy walked taller with each step. He knew his place now. Outside, the large jet waited under the open sky. The twins looked at it, and then at their brother. They smiled, knowing the journey ahead was shared. The boy looked at the sky, feeling hope rise slowly. He did not think about where they were going. He thought about who he was going with. That made all the difference. The future felt wide and kind. As they prepared to leave, the twins hugged him again. Not out of fear, but out of joy. The boy returned the embrace fully this time. Years of silence faded in that moment. He promised himself never to disappear again. They promised to stay connected no matter what. Those promises felt strong and real. They belonged to each other. The terminal doors opened, letting in fresh air. The sound of the outside world felt welcoming. The three of them stepped forward together. Their past no longer defined them alone. It had led them back to one another. People watched quietly, knowing they witnessed something rare. A family reunited by truth and courage. A story rewritten with hope. As they moved toward the waiting path, the boy looked back once. He saw the place where he had once felt small. Now it looked ordinary and distant. He turned forward, ready for what came next. The twins walked beside him, steady and proud. Their shared journey had begun again. Not as strangers but as family. And this time they would move forward together.